Alright guys, yo, welcome to Silver 2 Protoss. Working on our scouting, working on getting our initial build correct. Again, everything else in the build doesn't really matter because we're not scouting. We're not reacting, we're not scouting to anything that's going on beyond the natural, if there is or isn't one. It's just giving us a good, decent opener, depending on if our opponent does or does not expand. Command a chip. Command a CHP. Guys, if in my stream right now, if you type !YouTube, it'll take you to my YouTube, and yes, Bronze GM is updated.
You have not enough minerals.
I've been updating it every day that I'm literally, I stream, and then when I'm done streaming, I go into editing, and I spend a couple hours editing it and putting it on YouTube afterwards. Check it out. It's all right there.
You must construct additional pylons.
Okay, so we just made the gate. Let's go scout his base. Right after the barracks timing for Terran, right after the gateway for Protoss, let's go scout his base. And let's just mine his mineral patch in his main. Doesn't matter. We just want to see if we're going to run past a natural or not. Also, let's build our gas. With Protoss, I'm just going to throw this out there, okay? When you are... This is something specific to PvP. Always build your gas early in PvP, your second gas, because a lot of players that are Protoss like to be assholes and block your gas, and it's really annoying. It's super annoying. Okay, this guy has not expanded. So, let's go ahead and build a second gateway then. We're still going to expand. It's just that we're going to build a second gateway now before we commit to expanding. And also, we're about to supply blocks, so let's make a pylon. So we're still missing 2 probes and 1 of our gases. We're making those right now with a chrono boost. So this will be our goal every time. If we ever play against someone in Silver League, if we ever play against someone who does not expand, we'll just open up with 2 gateways, and then we'll expand. Alright. Well, let's leave our probe up here to get ready to expand, because now our gateway is producing, probes are still being made. Our money's gonna ramp up now to be able to afford an expansion here pretty quick. I see people freaking out again in chat about build order. Build order. Overall build order does not matter right now. It does not. It's just opener. It's just teaching people the difference of why the fuck you want to be safer or greedier. 2-gate openers in PvP are very standard in high-level play. Silver players should not worry about high-level play. And hopefully this series will prove it to you. Because what's going to happen now is we're just going to make Stalkers and Immortals with efficient probe production, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Okay, so natural is almost done. We're still making Stalkers. Once we can afford it, let's throw down a Robo. Once we can afford it, while probing. Because we're not worried about scouting anything right now. We're not making this game super complicated. We're not trying to counter his build. Other than the fact that he didn't expand. Let's make 2 gates instead of 1 gate before we make the Nexus, and that's it. And now everything is everything now revolves around the rule of efficiency. And now look at my money. It's getting a bit higher, so let's throw down a Robo. We need a pylon at our natural so I can warp in Stalkers there. Move my Stalkers here. Just leave them here. Keep chrono boosting my Nexuses. Keep making probes out of my Nexuses. My Nexi. For those people that want to be correct on it.
You have not enough minerals.
And now, fully saturated natural. Let's get ready to take a third base. All my production's been spent. My probes are still being produced. Throw down a third base so we can send our probes to our third in a minute.
You have not enough minerals.
Let's make an observer out of my robo. Keep making stalkers. Keep making probes. Probes are, again, always priority. So if production gets halted for a second, that's okay. Make a couple gases. Let's make a pylon. We're going to get supply blocked here pretty soon if we don't. Now let's make an immortal.
You have not enough minerals.
And now we're going to go back into the whole immortal stalker thing again.
Enough minerals.
Third base is almost done. It's like 60%.
You have not.
Grab my army. We don't want it to chase. Just come back. Who cares? Let him do his thing. He can run around the map and waste time and be distracted and not macro. Do things like that. We don't care about that right now. This doesn't matter. We care about saturating our probes to optimal saturation and ramping up our production every time that we get extra money.
Hey ViBE, awesome coaching and builds. Thanks, man.
Yo, Stim Junkie Jet, thank you very much for the support. I'm glad you like it, dude. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, man. Okay, he's attacking my third. Select all army, attack his army. Keep making probes. Keep making probes, guys. And our production's getting, we could probably add some more gates on now because we're able to afford more. Throw some more gates down. Keep making probes. Also, our third base is fully saturated. Let's throw down a Nexus. Because that's all we care about right now. Again, next the production, the efficiency. Keep making units. Keep making probes. We're almost fully saturated. We're getting close to the 70 realm right now. Okay, he's in my main. Select all army. Go to my main. We don't care about micro right now. We don't care about all this fancy shit. We just care about not supply blocking and producing units. Okay, now he's back in my third. Let's attack my third. Select all army, go to my third. Keep making probes, guys. Chrono boost my probes even. Let's make some stalkers, because we have money to do it. Make another immortal. Grab 2 probes, send him over. Efficiency. He's attacking over here. Select all army, go that way now. Saturate my gases properly.
Mineral field depleted.
Keep making probes.
Mineral field depleted. You have not enough minerals. I'm here.
Okay, what about my third base now? Is it fully saturated? It's almost fully saturated.
Let our enemy know our fury.
Make some more pylons. We're getting close to blocking again. Grab 4 probes, send them over. Now it's 1 probe over, send 1 probe over. Probe count is 72. Let's take another base. He's in my main base again. Select all army, go to my main base. We don't care about his multi-prong. We're just literally going, select all army, go wherever he is. Select all army, go wherever he is. It's super basic. I'm not splitting my army. I'm not doing crazy shit.
You have not enough minerals.
Probe count is 77. Now it is 80.
Your probes are under attack.
Okay, he's over here now. Select all army. Go over here. Let's go to the new base. Can make stalkers here again. Okay, we're watching it. Okay, he's flying in this open airspace again. Fuck him. Don't worry about it again. Probe count's still looking solid. And now we're almost maxed. Not quite, but we're almost there. But now I'm starting to run out of production capabilities here. Like I can't produce anymore. I'm done making probes, so that expense is over. So let's add in some more pylons in my main just for building room. Let's go ahead and do this thing again. Triple Forge. Twilight Council. Go back to my gateways and make more units when we can. Okay, we just spent all our money again. Look at my bases. Good. 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 We're looking at the numbers here. 14 is fine. This is not fine. Fix it. Okay, well, as soon as we mine the gas, it'll be good. And this base is fine. We can also start the gas. Now, let's go ahead and we still can't produce out of our gateways, but we're about to, so we'll do that first. Gateway, or stalker, 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 stalker. Now let's go ahead and start some gateways again.
How about a raid later tonight? ViBE? Woohoo. Live long and prosper.
About a raid tonight? Yeah, that's fine, Ragu. Thank you, dude, for the bits, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, dude. Oh, my eye. More gates. And also, look at our money and look at our gas. This is why we built this building as well. Let's go ahead and throw down a Templar Archives. So now our gateway count is a lot higher. We have 16 gates and a robo. We'll stop making gates for now. And we'll keep going back to making units for now. But we'll also start doing upgrades. And now we can chrono boost upgrades. And the last thing before I move out, once again, is this. You guys know what it is. You guys have seen it enough by now. Cannon, cannon. Call it dead. Move these units out of the way. They're kind of in the way of making cannons there. We'll move them. Cannon, cannon, mine. Cannon, cannon, mine. Cannon, cannon, mine. And then look at my mineral lines. Good. Over by 2, grab 2. Set them over here. Good.
Thank you so much for the best StarCraft 2 instructional series.
Yo, thank you for the 50, Gerald Silver. Holy shit. Send my whole army to attack that. Send 3 probes on that gas. We're good. How many probes did I lose? We lost like 3 probes. Let's make 3 probes and call it a day. We're good. Make some stalkers. And we're good. Also, let's throw down some more robos. But yo, dude. Gerald Silver, thank you very much, man, for the 50. That is huge. I appreciate it so much, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, rally point everything here with my robos. Select all army. Let's go to his base. Shift A move. Shift. 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 And then go to my observer again and have it follow an immortal. Because you don't know what we're up against.
Give this man your free Twitch Prime.
Psyducks, thank you again, man. Okay, he's attacking me at the same time. So, we'll just pick a location. We'll make it. We'll take a new base over here because we'll need to send probes somewhere else now. We'll pick a location to remake some of my stuff. And every time something dies, we can make new things. And for now, we can make Templar into Archons. Okay, my Templar Archives is dead. Make that as well. Make some more gates. Pylons, pylon, pylon. This will be where our new production facilities are. Probes count? Probes is still good, so we don't need to make probes yet. All we're worrying about, though, we're not worrying about the base trade. We're only worrying about setting up for what's coming after. It's all we care about right now. It's all we care about is setting up what comes after. A lot of people right now would be microing their army, being like, "Shit, this is getting insane. It's too much. Let's do it. Just worry about what comes after." Start making immortals here. Make more gateways. Let's make like another like 6 gates. And then call it a day. Probe count, we need to fix it a little bit. Make a few more probes. And let's make some more Archons. Make another pylon because we're not capped yet. Make 3 immortals. We can now chrono boost these immortals too, because why not? Why not chrono boost them? Base trades happen, and when they do happen, don't freak out, is my point. It happens. Let's make another pylon right here so we can have a nice warping spot that's not so cluttered. What's my probe count? We're losing probes again. Make a couple more. Oh, we're losing probes here. Holy shit, okay. Attack my army over there. Let's make some stalkers as well to help this. Probe count? We need to make some more. Keep making units. Immortal. make whatever we can. Our gas is really high, so let's go back into Templar again. How's the probe count? 80. Kill the prism. Nice. You shouldn't micro that. Like, literally, I see the prism. It's there. We could kill it, but it's seriously not your goal. It's not like your attention should not be thinking that. Your attention should be thinking, look at my supply. Don't let it dip really hard. Your attention should be seriously thinking macro, 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 not micro. For now. Yo, Fazzy J and LXJHS. Thank you very much for the subs, boys. Welcome back. Welcome back, guys. Thank you, thank you. Probe count, it's dropping again a little bit. Let's make some more. Let's take another base too while we're at it, because this base is going to be saturated fully soon. Take some more stuff. Let's make a bunch of Archons. Hold down the Archon button. Hold down the Archon button again. And check this out, guys. We're basically maxed. Again. So, select all army, and let's go attack his attack. Let's tell my whole army to just go over here. Attack where he is. Look at my probe count. We're dipping again. Let's make some more probes. Rally all my nexuses here. Let's make some gases. We can make some more pylons because we're dipping our supply as well. Like make one there, and we'll make like another one here, so we can have a warp in spot. Probe count's dipping still. We can rally here too. This base is actually really undersaturated. All these probes here can actually mine it because they're long distance mining now. And build a nexus there again. Why not? Okay, let's saturate my base properly. What's the bases look like? This base looks good. Okay, new base then. Over by 4. Go back to 4. Grab that. Send 2 back. We're good. Rally everything here. This is the new base now. Probe count. We're almost back to perfect again. Let's chrono boost our nexuses so we get back there quicker. And now probes are being made. We got that all kind of figured out. Let's go back to making units again. We're maxed out. Let's go ahead and take this gas. And let's take another nexus, because mine as well, right? Because we're going to mine out. Let's go ahead and make Archons out of these Templar. And look, there he is. Let's attack him over here. Just attack him around me this way. We can remake... Well, yeah, we can remake our upgrades. We can go Forge, Forge, Forge. And Council. We're losing probes. My army can attack here. Remake probes as they die. Chrono boost them again. Chrono. 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 Let's make a couple observers just in case we need them. I don't have one, I don't think. Attack this base. Probe count is looking a lot better again. Let's retake another base. Let's. These bases are pretty much mined out, so fuck them. Don't take those. Let's like take this base up here. Because again, we're gonna be fully saturated on our bases. Like mineral fields depleted need to go somewhere is why I'm taking these bases. Take a gas. And make some stalkers. Okay, we are max supply again, essentially. Select all army. Attack into his natural. Or you know what? This is actually a horrible spot to fight because it's so tight right there. Let's attack the opposite side of the map. We've controlled the right side. This game is long now. So let's make sure we kill all of his economy on the other side. Let's do this. Select all army. Mini-map. Attack this base on the left side, right above me. Shift A move that base. That base. His third base. His potential base right there. Then go back to his natural. And then go into his main. So we're going to clear the entire top side of the map right now. Meanwhile, let's go back to what we were doing before. Okay, another base trade is happening again. So, let's go ahead and prepare again, right? Step 2 again. Robo, Robo, Robo. This guy does not like to fight my army. Let's go ahead and build a Templar Archives. But I can't because my thing died, so we'll build this instead. And we'll build a core. We're securing our tech path first. Because gateways can be made whenever the fuck I want to make gateways. Start making probes and saturate this base. Make some gates. Gate. That's enough gateways for now to start. Get making probes for this base over here. And start making army. You can't really do it. If your opponent wants to base raid you, you kind of got to roll with the punches. You don't really, you can't just be like, hey, stop base raiding me. And later on, you kind of can when you can manipulate and control the map to your at your will. But for now, it just is what it is. You got to just kind of deal with it. Let's take another base over here now. But we're doing this. This is the macro form of base trades. This is macro base trade. We are not trying to chase him down, and we're not neglecting our macro behind this. We're always fixing and fixing and fixing. We have probes that are extra. Let's grab our extra probes. Send them up here now. Take a couple gases. Rally all my probes to this new base. We're over by 2 here. And we could even take another base. Probe count's looking a bit sad. But here's the thing, right? The base count is actually, we're getting kind of thin here on overall availability of bases. So this is when I would say, this is a late game base trade now. Around this time, stop going to like 80 probes, and maybe now we should start hanging out around like 60 probes. 60 probes would be a bit more efficient now, because we're not really able to saturate like fucking 4 or 5 bases consistently anymore. A lot of the mining has been kind of consumed already, is my point. Okay, he's blocking my expansion, so let's just send a couple units to clear that out so I can expand there. We'll leave a probe there too. Just send a probe and sit there. What's my army doing over here? It's chilling. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. We'll come back to it in a second.
Unacceptable command. We are at maximum supply.
Okay, probe count. Yeah, probe count looks fine. I like my probe count. We're at 58. 58's good. Grab these gateways, put them in a group. Now let's go ahead and select my whole army. Group it up where I can make a stand with my next base. Just group it up.
Your probes are under attack.
Probe count's at 54. Let's make a couple more probes. I know some of you are also probably freaking out that I'm not rotating probes around. Just make probes as they die for now. It makes this process of learning this way easier, I think. We'll start rotating mineral lines around in higher leagues, because you should do that later on. But for now, just fucking look at this number and be like, oh, our goal now, because the game is late and there's not a whole lot of active, like fresh bases, a lot of these bases have been mined out a lot. Let's just try to stay around 60 now instead of 80. Make new pylons so we don't keep blocking. This is our new staging point. Bottom side of the map is dying. It's going to die. It's acceptable, because we've already established a new life on the top side. Chrono boost my probes. Make some immortals. Make some stalkers. We're max supply again. Let's actually delete a couple of these immortals so I can make some more probes, to be honest.
Base is under attack.
Okay, well, our army's looking pretty fucking good. Select all army. Let's just go fight where he is. I'm feeling confident. We're maxed out. A move his ass. Because we can always remake more anyways afterwards. Let's go ahead and take another base, because we're going to potentially need to transfer over there. Okay. Let's go ahead and make this whole combination again. Triple Forge. And the ability to make Archons. Because we don't have it in our little tech recovery here. Okay, where does army go? Let's just pretend we don't know. Like, oh, where'd it go? I don't know. Oh, there it is. Attack back to my base. Go defend. This seems like this is his last army. Make some stalkers. Yo, Jim Davis, thank you very much for the raid. Hope you had a good stream, dude. Currently doing some bronze to GM. Welcome, guys. I'm basically teaching people how to kick the shit out of nerds in StarCraft. This guy, I'm playing the biggest base trader ever as well. Okay. And now, if you ever play against someone like this, here's what you can do, okay? This is a little tactic you can do if you play against the most annoying player in the world. Okay? You guys ready? Go like this. Select all army and move it like this. Now we're going to do something a little technical here. we're going to green box half of my army and hit control 2. This is now control 2. Control 1 is going to be this. Now with control 2, we're going to do this. Attack every base in the map that is not where we are at. So 2A, click that middle line. Click that one. That one. That one. Next. 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 Now we go 1. We can double tap 1 and it takes us back to 1. And we can go wherever the fuck his army goes. And because all we're doing is like, this game is over. All we're doing is this guy is just blinking around, running away, running away, running away. I'm just fucking chilling now, guys. One of my armies is going to win the game for me. And the other one is going to stop letting my base die. Because he has nothing.
Cheesy. Now a macro all the way.
Okay, just stay by your base. Don't even bother chasing it. Just whenever he shows up at your base, push him away. Yeah, Richard, thank you for the 5, man. And you're a macro boy now. I'm proud of you. Hell yeah. What I just did though is not really micro. This is not micro, guys. This is just like a means to an end. And we can, the reason why this got initiated is because this guy is dead. He has no bases really, but he just runs around a lot. This is the 3rd base trade he's going for. So he's here. So 1, go A move my base now. Go that way. Push him away. What's my probe count at? 49? We can make some more. We can also make some cannons in my mineral lines, just like last time. Cannon, cannon. Cannon, cannon. Let's make some upgrades. Chrono, chrono, chrono. Good stuff. Look, he's back. He's back again. He's over here. Some of my army's still chasing him. Go up here. What's my probe count at? 57? 57's fine. That's very close to 60. We're good to go. Attack up here because he's up here. Saturate my gases. Look at my bases really fast. Make sure the economy's looking good. 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 He's still running away. Attack him again with my army. 1A move towards him. And this base is nothing, but it's fine. It doesn't need to have anything yet. We can actually put a couple of cannons on that base. Why not? Cannon, cannon, cannon. Maybe make another like couple pylons. Okay, let's just wait again.
You must place that in a power field.
Chrono boost my forges.
Our pylon is under attack.
Oh. Okay, there he is. He's going over here again, so let's move my army over here again because he's going that direction. So 1 is going here to cover this because he's going that way. Okay. And now, at this point, it did say if we paid attention, he's being revealed, so we could look at the map and that's it. GG.
Our pylon is under attack. My charge.
So again, we didn't make this a frustrating experience. This should not have been a frustrating experience. Really, what this actually is it's like squishing a cockroach. Like he's scurrying around all over the place, trying to just not die. And if we get frustrated and lose our composition, that's how we potentially can start giving him position, like little holes to win the game, like come back in somewhat in the game. But in base trade scenarios, we didn't freak out. We prepared, and we moved on. And let's go ahead and rewind this back to the very first base trade. Let's look at what the game looks like after the first base trade. Actually, let's just go back in the whole replay. We'll times 8 this thing. Let's look at the opener, because this guy was definitely really aggressive. So, we're looking at income, and we're looking at probe amounts, right? He actually expands faster than we do. He does it right after we leave, which is fine. He didn't do it right away. He didn't go gateway nexus. He still went core first. But again, very similar. Our expansions are very similarly timed. It does not matter really. And even though he was the one who expanded first, we're the ones who have more probes by 3 already. And the reason why that is because uptime of Nexus is so important. Can't stress it enough, boys. We're in Silver League and we're still talking about it. And you know what? We're going to talk about this even all the way to GM. This is a skill that high-level players will just automatically have because they respect this rule. This is like the number one thing that makes a player good or bad. Uptime of workers. So we're like, we should be behind because he expanded faster than us, but yet we're ahead by 3. And it's rising more. There's no reason to delay workers this much. And it's because he's prioritizing production and tech over workers. That's incorrect. So look at this. This is again another example of this. So far this game, we've lost 22 probes, guys, because I am not microing anything. I'm just A-moving my army towards wherever he is. We're A-moving our army to where he is. He killed 22 workers. And someone who rushes tech like this, it's misleading. They're going to be like, fuck yeah, I just killed so many probes. I still almost have double. Like, okay, not quite, but you get my point. I'm still ahead by a lot. I'm ahead by 19. I've lost 22, and I'm still ahead by 19. And if you look at production, I'm still making probes, and he's not. So that is going to keep increasing more and more. Just to throw this out there, there are 2 ways you should make workers. There are 2 ways. There's one golden rule that applies to both of these, but there's 2 ways you make workers. One is you make workers to the optimal macro saturation, and then you work with that. Number 2 is you stop workers at a certain point. You have a cutoff because your build is a timing build, and it needs to do massive amounts of aggression at this time to make it worthwhile. It's usually like these also go into hand in hand with all-ins, like all-in type builds and very heavy timing builds. They have worker cut points where you commit everything to an attack at that one point in time. If your plan is you make a lot of production and you make probes with it, and then you stop making probes, you make some units, you do a tiny poke here and there, and then you start making probes again here and there, that is just random bouncing inefficiency. It doesn't make any sense. The golden rule is get to the optimal saturation and then go pure army. That is the golden rule for every race. Which is why I tell you guys, you can add on production as your economy gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and we'll start to really understand the timings of these things as we get higher leagues. But for now, when your money's high, fucking just spend your money. Throw down some extra gates then. That's fine. As long as you're still making probes. Don't ever build buildings and go, I got to cut probes for this. And then go, you know what? Now I want to make probes again. It doesn't make any sense. Why the fuck did we make those buildings then? Because we can't afford them anyways. So then if to make those buildings, we had to cut probes. And if we want to utilize those buildings, we got to cut probes. And cutting probes repeatedly when you're going to macro makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense. And it puts you in situations like, oh, I killed 23 probes, but I'm still behind by 19. And you can see the supply as well. It tells the tale too. Okay. So now looking at the first base trade. So he shows up in my base. He goes right for my production. He kills my pylons. He underpowers my buildings. He kills my base. My base is done. Like, this base is no more. So, here's the thing, right? If this is a standard base trade, and I'm over here trying to micro my units, and I'm taking a horrible fight, and let's say I somehow lose this fight because I didn't micro it as efficiently as I could have, and then I don't prepare for the base trade, and I'm like, oh, well, fuck. My base is dead. That's not good, because now I can't build anything. I can build units out of 3 gates and 2 robos. However, if I don't give a shit about this, this does what it does. If I don't give a shit about this, this does what it does. Let's really quickly look at our opponent, okay? Our opponent, like, if this cracks, if his little ramp here cracks, he's dead. And I will say, honestly, my army would totally crack this if I would have went this way and attacked from a wider angle. This little tiny choke point that he's abusing is really good for him. This is probably the best location he could ever fight at because my army is on full aim move, but it doesn't matter. Guffalo, thank you very much for the 12-month sub, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This location doesn't matter for me because this is not the end of the game for me. This is just one more step into the macro element of a base trade now, because we established all of our tech that is important. All of our tech that is really crucial has been reestablished in a new location. We got the Robos, we got the Core, and we got the Templar Archives. These are important because Templar Archives unlocks Archons, the Core unlocks Stalkers, and the Robos are just they're required. Like, you need to have a Core to make a Robo, but also again the Core has other purposes which it makes Stalkers. But the Robos make Observers for us, and they also make Immortals for us, which are also amazing units. And then we're just filling in the rest with more gates, giving ourselves more building room for more gates. So look, he's actually cracking. Even though we had a horrible location to fight at, I'm not microing this army at all, but he is cracking, and he has no follow-up to this. So he pulls probes, loses a bunch of probes. He actually overpowers what I have, but look at the worker count. Look at the recovery of this base trade. Red, like, even though we have similar supplies right now, Red has no recovery compared to us. This is really not looking good for Red anymore. And then he comes over here and attacks this. And I'm going to let you guys know, I'm going to fill you in on a secret really fast. As soon as this fight comes to a conclusion, the supply is going to ramp up in our favor ridiculously hard because recovery. Look at that. Look at the mining. For every like 6 Stalkers he can make, I can make 18. That's the ratio of what we're kind of mining at right now. I'm mining like 3 times as much as he is overall. Almost. It's very close. It's more like if he makes 6, I can make like 16. So the supply is going to have a massive difference again because he has no recovery. And he's killing more probes. Let's go ahead and look at this really fast. Probes killed this game. I have 62. He has 35. I have lost 78 probes. He's only lost 20. I have definitely taken lots of probe losses here. And again, we will discuss probe preservation, worker preservation, later on in this series, though not Silver League. Probably not even Gold League. We'll probably... maybe Gold League, maybe. It's either going to be Gold or Platinum. I haven't made my mind up on that yet. But yeah, probe preservation is later. For now, it's just understanding the concept of, like, it'd be like this, okay? Here's another analogy for you. Imagine 2 guys that have, like, okay, how do I want to say this? I don't know. This is going to sound so stupid. I was going to say, imagine 2 guys that have, like, a stick. And they're both standing on stilts. And they're, like, trying to smack each other's legs out from under them. And one guy is just focusing 100% on trying to knock the other guy's legs out from under him. It's all he's focusing on. And then the other guy is focusing on, like, actually grabbing things on the ceiling that are like, if you knock my leg out, I'm still going to be fine. It's okay. You can knock my legs out. I'm still here, bro. Like, one player's all in as fuck, trying to just fuck the other guy over. And the other one's like, I'm fine. We're good. And as soon as I stabilize, I hit him once and he falls over. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one guy is not preparing for the future at all. He's just, now, this is it. It's a terribly stupid analogy. It makes sense, though. It does. He's like, he's all in on trying to fuck me over, and he's doing nothing to really maintain himself. So the base trade has come to an end. Fight is over. He survived with 1 Stalker at the end of it and killed the rest of my units. But even though he killed the rest of my units, look at the supply. Look at the bank. He has no bank. There is no way he can really increase his supply right now. And I do have a bank. I could make another like 6 stalkers again right now with that bank. And counting, because we're mining a ass load. We're mining almost 10 times the amount of gas that he is and double the amount of minerals that he is. Or like, it's more like maybe like 8 times or 9 times the minerals, but, or the gas. But you get my point. It's a lot. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. So we expanded. We tried to, you know, cover ourselves. In terms of resources lost this game, we've lost 12,000 more resources than he has. And you know why this is? It's because this guy is focusing everything on micro. That's standard. If we're in Silver League and your opponent is, I'm a micro guy. I'm micro. That's what I do. It's my skill set. I'm micro. That's who I am. They call me Macro Mick. Macro Mike. Okay? That's pretty standard. And when you think about 12,000 resources, that's kind of a lot, right? You're like, holy fuck, ViBE. I don't know, dude. That's a lot of resources to be above your opponent in terms of how much you've lost. But look at this. Again, this is a big one that people don't pay attention to. This is every minute. And think of how long this game is. We're almost at 19 minutes, guys. If we do the math, if we do the math, I am fucking crushing this guy in terms, if we talk about, you have two ways to look at it, okay? One way, which a lot of people tunnel vision on, is resources lost. Oh, fuck. This blue guy is getting owned. Oh, no. It's bad for blue. But then if we were to, instead of just saying, if we start at 0 and we just talk about resources lost, let's actually talk about how much we've both mined and then subtract losses off of that. If we talk about how much we both have mined and then subtract losses off of that, it's basically like a normal building versus a fucking skyscraper, and the skyscraper gets a couple floors chopped off, and then the other one's a building that also gets a couple floors chopped off. The skyscraper still fucking wins here. We have mined so much more than he has that even though we have more losses, we're still way above total amount we've generated throughout the game, which is why we're doubling his supply, more than doubling his supply at this stage still. After all said and done, where we've lost 12,000 more than he has. And you can mitigate those losses as we get higher in leagues, and you can maintain more things than just making workers and making buildings. Skyscraper on stilts. That's right. And here we go again. We're losing more, right? He's base trading me again. And he's focusing on saving the probes. He keeps running around. He's focused all on micro. But while he's focused on micro, can I just show you guys something? This is my point. Right as the base trade starts, I'm going to show you guys something. Watch for me, if you will. Watch the production tab, okay? I want you guys to just watch this. Watch the production tab. And let's look at how much more active one is than the other. Ready? We got batteries for him. And we have robos, we have gates, we have probes. And we have now the weapon upgrade, which this is a long upgrade. But this production tab has not been touched in a long time, guys. For red. There's 2 stalkers and a zealot. And it's untouched again. He's making a nexus. Our production tab has been fucking popping off left and right repeatedly. With one thing after another, which is why we're still maxed out. My point is when players of lower league focus on micro, they do nothing with macro. Once again, I'm trying to really stress that point so many times. This is so goddamn true, and everyone always argues with me and says, no, ViBE, you're wrong. And then I show them this, and they're like, oh, okay, you got a point. You actually might have a point. So let's look at another stat that's crazy. I've lost 147 workers. Can you believe that? I have lost 147 probes this game. That's how many have died. I'm still tripling his worker count. I'm still at 57. We're great. Doesn't matter. Now it's infinity over his economy. He's mining 0-0 versus 2,300. Look, my worker count's going up even more. I have now lost 170 workers. Look at the probe count. We're fine. We're still making probes. To that nice, optimal, juicy point. Look at the worker count. 47 probes versus 17. I have lost 173 workers now. It's okay. And now let's just look really fast for a second. The base trade happened, right? This is the third base trade. It happened multiple times. I have had to make my base 3 times in a row, is my point. Let's look at the difference of what we have, okay? Let's look at red. He's got 2 gateways, a core being built right now, and a robo, and with 1 pylon in the main. And these are buildings that did not die earlier. The core is being rebuilt, but the other buildings I think were just left here. I think these are just remnants of the base that didn't die. Look at this. 2 forges and 2 pylons. Again, remnants of the base that did not die. A pylon, remnants of the base that did not die. A new nexus with 2 gases. This is the only... This nexus and that core are like the only real things that he made. In the last who knows how long. The rest of it's been just micro. Kill everything, kill everything. I've killed so much more. I've killed 17,000 more resources than he has. I'm doing a good job. I'm trading well. But the thing that blows people's minds is this game is over, and it's way over in my favor. Because look at his base that he's remade is this. There's been almost 0 effort to macro behind this. Look at what we have. We have 3 robos. We have a fully saturated mineral line. We have tech. We have pylons. We have max supply still. We have tons of gates. We have forges. We have temple archives. We have more nexuses, more nexuses, more nexuses. We have a base still. We have infrastructure. We have tech paths. We have ability to remax again. We have everything we need to, like, if this is a brand new game and he's got a full base, we can still contest him. He cannot contest us anymore because he has nothing. Because he has not been focused. He's been focusing everything on micro and focusing nothing on upkeep of his everything that's going on. And if you save your probes and you don't lose 180 probes, if you work on saving your probes and not losing your probes like that, just letting them all die, yes, that is better. But we'll worry about that at higher leagues. The point I'm trying to make is you can just let your shit die and just make something new, and you're still going to be in a great spot. You're still going to be great. Just focus on upkeep, making workers. They're dying, make more. Make new bases. Oh, my shit, my base is going to die. He's base trading me. Let's rebuild my tech. Don't just let it all die and be like, well, fuck, now I got to start from 0 again. And there you go. That's really all it is. And then that final thing we talked about where I had half my army find his remnants and the other half of my army deal with this blink garbage. At this point, the game is over. The game was over, so this is more just a means to an end to not be annoyed by what he's doing. And that's all she wrote. Another probe died. That's a lot of probe death, guys. 182 probes have died in the making of this PvP. Jesus. That's a lot of probe death. GG. Hopefully that enlightens people again. It's really trying to stress those points. Those are unique points where that's multiple base trades. That's something that won't happen very often. That's your opponent being non-committal. Just don't freak out. Don't freak out. Just stick to the plan. Make shit. As long as you can make shit repeatedly and not stress out and feel like the game is falling apart, you're going to be in a good spot. And then once you get better at the game, you can also not stress out, make shit when things are starting to fall apart so you prevent that from happening. But then you can also do things when you get better to be like, I'm also microing now. I'm mitigating losses by saving probes. I'm doing this, doing that. Lots of things you can do. Lots of things. He's a troll. It's a troll. Alright, boys. We are making a gateway. And then we're gonna scout. Okay, so now we're gonna scout his base. See what's going on. We're gonna look for the natural, right? No natural. We'll mine his mineral patch so our probe will come back. But no natural, so we're gonna go ahead and play it safe. And we'll take 2 bases.
Yo,
Yo.
Micro Mick called. He heard you were talking shit about him. He asked that you quit teaching sound fundamentals. It's making his micro feel unrewarded.
Shut up, Micro. I want to hear it. Micro Mick. No, it's true though. Thank you for the 10. Cyclops 6'8". I appreciate it, dude. But it's so true though. That whole point, that whole game, I think was an amazing example because I think everyone thinks what I did is incorrect, like by default. And I'm not saying what you guys just saw you think is incorrect. I'm saying anyone who learns StarCraft, they think that mentality is wrong. They're like, no, I need to save my shit. I need to use my shit. It's a waste. Why would I make army and send it across the map just to die? That's stupid. Is it? It's not stupid. If you cannot handle everything at once, don't expect to handle everything at once. Learn how to fucking handle the basics of what's more important, and then once you're like masters or some shit, then worry about being someone who's like, I'm gonna play just like pro gamers do. I'm gonna do everything at once.
I'm here in the shadows.
Everyone just has this mentality where whatever they make, they have to utilize to its biggest extent. Which is the same reason why you get people that are like, I'm gonna make 20 supply, and I'm gonna stop making supply, and I'm gonna use that 20 supply to attack you with it, and I'm gonna do damage. When you should just make supply non-stop, and suddenly when you get attacked by 20 supply, you're defending it with 50 supply. And you're like, nice. It's like a fucking little mosquito flying around a gorilla. You're like, okay. This doesn't seem like a fair fight anymore, because I made shit. Unless that mosquito is infected with some shit and then it somehow kills the gorilla.
I am here in the shadows.
Why isn't he making warp gate? Because we forgot. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now, it doesn't matter. You wanna know why warp gate it matters? Like, sure, we make units a little bit faster when we have warp gate. That is a thing. But you know why warp gate is really important? There, we're gonna A move my natural. A move my natural. Pull my probes. A move my natural. This is a aggressive attack. Keep making stuff, guys.
I am here in the
Let's make a pylon. A move.
Your probes are under attack.
Keep making probes.
Not enough. Your probes are
We're not giving a fuck, really. We're just making probes. Alright. Let's look for 1 second. Okay, let's pull back. He's chasing me all the way back to his base. Let's pull back. And since now we know what he's doing, like, we chased him all the way over there to the middle of the map, and now we're like, we made probes still the whole time, we're good. Now here's what we should do. Group my army up in front of my base, and let's do this. Because he's all in, let's go ahead and throw down like 3 shield batteries. Just to be safe. And guess what? We're still making probes while we're doing this. We're not cutting probes out. We have not stopped probe production once. Pull probes again. He's all in me again right now. Pull probes. A move. Make probes. Chrono boost.
not enough energy.
This is an all in.
Not enough minerals. You have not enough.
Okay. Pull my probes back. Whatever. We're fine. Just run back to the mineral line. Stalkers can stand in front.
Research.
We're fully saturated on 2 bases right now. Let's make a robo. And then let's get ready to take a 3rd. A move his army with my stalkers. And let's take a 3rd. Keep making probes. Do not stop making probes. Okay. Look at the economy. How many probes died? I lost 11 probes. And I am still doubling his worker count. Once again. Just make shit. This is a very, very fast version of what happened last game to a point. There's no base trade, but yeah, it's someone being aggressive. Someone being extra aggressive trying to kill you. And you just make a judgment call. The reason why, and also here's the thing. The reason why we pulled probes, if someone's like, how do I know when and when not to pull probes? He did not expand. We made 2 gateways because of that, which gave us more units to work with in case we got all in. But then he shows up with a fucking all in. He showed like there's no expansion, and he shows up with an attack with marauders and marines. That is very, and it was very heavy marauder. That is very aggressive. And that was when I had like 4 stalkers. That is a perfect time to pull your probes. To be like, yo, probes, help us. This is the guy's all-inning us. This is too much right now. That guarantees that there was no command center on the high ground. That guarantees that he's made multiple barracks and he is doing a full-fledged all-in. So we pulled probes with our stalkers and we fought it back. So if army can't win, you pull probes. If it's early and you get all in, pulling probes is 100% okay. Like to A-move him and then just deal with it. If this guy, okay, think about it like this. Maybe this will enlighten you. If there was a natural here, okay? If there was a base, a command center, or if there was one hidden, if there was a command center, it would be physically impossible for him to have more marauders than I have stalkers when he shows up at my base. That's fucking impossible. You cannot expand and then make marauders and then walk across the map and then also have more units than I do if I am also playing efficient. That is physically impossible. The only way you can do that is if you sacrifice economy to all in you, the other person, and when he's producing off of 3 racks, I'm producing off of 1 gate early on. Because he has 3 racks by the time I like start my core. Because he's not going to take a command center. And I am going to save for a nexus. Does that make sense? Like he'll have too much shit too fast. Late game or mid game, if we're talking like 80 supply, 100 supply, stuff like that, it wouldn't matter nearly as much because even if I was getting all in then and he waited that long, I would be able to, my economy would be able to just surpass him with production. It wouldn't matter. It's just early game. Like you're going to see like, holy fuck, his army's big compared to mine. And I've been playing efficient. I need to pull probes. That's how you make that judgment call. It's just too much. Like, look at this. Look at when he shows up. So he's not making SCVs, as you can see. 0 command centers, 0 SCVs. He's just making marauder. He's got 5 fucking marauders, and I have 4 stalkers when he gets to my base. That is not normal. This is an all-in. If you ever see something like this and you go, oh no, he's macro. He's like 3 command centers behind this. No. No. Marauders are expensive, and there's a lot of them already, and they're also, you have to keep in mind, he had to walk into my base to do this. This might mean they're proxied over here. It might mean they're proxied right there. They could be proxied right there. Or it might mean he just mailed them in his base and he walked across the map. Either way, he either had to walk SCVs across the map to do this, or he had to walk marauders across the map to do this, which either way makes this all in as fuck. This is too many units in my base too fast. So pulling probes makes sense. Another reason why this makes sense, which is something that I'll just say now, I guess, because whatever, I'll just say it. But this is something that we'll talk about more when people get to like Platinum League, when your scouting is a bit better. Understanding armor types and weapon types is a big deal. I'm going to throw this out there. A Marauder and a Stalker counter each other. Both of those units counter each other. They are both considered armored units. You can tell what they are down here in the bottom middle with the text. They are armored tags. So they both do their, they both take bonus damage from armored attacks. And on top of that, they both have a bonus damage that does bonus damage versus armored. A Marauder does double damage versus armored targets. And a Stalker does an additional 5 damage versus armored targets. They both do very similar damage. A Marauder hits a little bit harder because it hits faster and does 2 more damage. With Stimpack, a Marauder is actually way scarier than Stalkers. But he can't have Stimpack right now because it's too fast. It's literally a super fast all-in. The only thing he has is concussive shells. But Marauders, however, suck ass against Probes because Probes have light armor. They're not armored. So Marauders are doing the weaker form of their damage versus Probes. And the Probes are also electrocuting. They're melee, so they're going to take the shots. They're also electrocuting the Marauders, which is doing a little bit of peppery damage. It's just extra little damage. And then it's also buying my Stalkers time to do for my Stalkers to do their damage back into the Marauder. So pulling my Probes right now is great because of the weapon types and the armored tags. If I would have just had my Stalkers fight here, my Stalkers would have lost. Because one Stalker does very gradually lose to one Marauder. But if he has more Marauders than I have Stalkers, I will ultimately lose because for 2 reasons. Number 1, if he has more Marauders than I have Stalkers right now, the one of those 2 reasons why I would lose is because if 1-to-1 he already wins. Well, if he has 5-to-4 and he's the 5, he's gonna win even more then because he even wins 1-to-1. The second reason why he would win is because if he has more Marauders than I have Stalkers right now, that means he has more production than I have right now. I have 2 gateways. He has 3 barracks. He will over time produce more than me the entire time. So I have to, this is crunch time when it makes, this is the biggest, most important part of the game where if I don't let my Stalkers die, he shows up with 5, I have 4, he loses 5, I lose 8 Probes, but I retain 4 Stalkers, and now suddenly I have 6 Stalkers. And if he loses 5 Marauders, he has now maybe 4 Marauders or 5 Marauders again because he has maybe 1 or 2 on the map that are still running across, and 3 new ones once again pop out. And once we do this a couple times, you know, which was what we had to do it literally 2 times, we then had a good enough Stalker count where it bought us enough time to fight with just our Stalkers because we also were able to build shield batteries, and we were able to afford all of this because we kept making Probes the whole time. The probe production in top left never stops. We keep making probes. So we're fucking solid. And now once we have the situation where it's like, okay, well, we have a respectable number of Stalkers now. We have 7. And now he's trying to fight me. Now he's the one fighting me with less Marauders than I have in Stalkers. He's now trying to fight me with 3 at the moment, and he has 4 or 5 coming in. If I have 7 Stalkers versus 5 Marauder, I win that fight with 7 Stalkers. Because I outnumber him, and I will overpower him then. But then on top of that, we are also fighting next to shield batteries, which means I won't lose a single Stalker, which is a guaranteed win. Because these batteries will heal my Stalkers. And then, there you go. And we also, again, shield batteries are a great call versus people who all-in you. And we know he's all-inning us because he's flooding Marauders into my base the whole time. All of these reasons are why we can tell this. If someone ever walks into your base and they have more units than you do, you know that and they also use scouted, they didn't expand. That's aggressive as fuck, and you might want to pull your probes. It's just really, I feel like that's like probably the best way to break that game down. And we got promoted. Oh, baby. Silver 1. Thank you guys for watching. We're almost Gold League, guys. We're getting up there. Thank you for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Subscribe if you liked it. Until next time. Goodbye.